Welcome to another cooking and baking video from your Culver-Stockton Dining Services team. Kristina here, your assistant director, bringing you a how-to of some of the best chocolate chip cookies. So let's get started. First, the ingredients. You will need 1 cup of soft butter, a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 3/4 cup of packed brown sugar, 1 package of instant vanilla pudding. Make sure that you don't have cooked to serve. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 large eggs, 2 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, and 1 package of chocolate chips. The ingredients you have been given are for a single batch of cookies, which makes about 24. This video shows the ingredients for 7 times a single batch. It is best to use a paddle attachment for this. If you do not have a stand mixer at home, I find it best to use clean hands to mix the flour and chocolate chips at the end. First into the mixing bowl is our soft butter. You're going to want to whip the butter lightly before adding the granulated sugar. Cream the sugar and the butter together until light in color. Now add the brown sugar, whipping them all together until combined. You can now add your instant vanilla pudding. Be careful not to mix at too high of a speed, causing the pudding to fly out of the bowl. Once combined, add the vanilla extract and baking soda. Mix lightly, incorporating all ingredients you have added so far. At this point, you will want to make sure to scrape down the sides and the bottoms of your mixing bowl. This will help to make sure that everything is getting evenly distributed and mixed together. Crack your eggs into a separate bowl to ensure we don't have any eggshells in the cookies. Mix well, making sure the eggs are fully combined with the rest of the dough. Your dough will be quite wet at this stage. Make sure you scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl again. Now for the flour. You are going to want to add this in stages. If you are making your cookies with a hand mixer, I recommend using a clean hand to incorporate the flour and chocolate chips. The dough can become a little too much for a hand mixer at this stage. If you are using a stand-up mixer, be sure to set on a lower setting or the lowest setting when adding the flour. This is to make sure you don't have flour flying everywhere. It is important not to overmix during this stage. We want to make sure the cookies are nice and soft. Once the flour is mixed, but can still be seen in the dough, add your chocolate chips. Continue to mix on a low setting, making sure you get all the dough from the sides and bottom of the mixing bowl with your flour and chips. You should mix your dough just until everything is combined. The texture should be a soft Play-Doh. If you think your dough is too sticky or wet, add about 1/4 cup of flour and mix well. You don't want the dough to be too stiff though, or your cookies won't stretch out at all. Now is the perfect time to clean up your area before moving on to the next step. It is important to always work on a clean and sanitized surface. Let's start scooping our cookies. The best way is to use a small ice cream scoop. This helps make sure all the cookies are the same size and cook evenly. Place your cookies on a parchment paper lined cookie sheet. I find it best to lightly press down on the cookies so that they bake out a little bit instead of being smaller and rounder in size. Place your cookies in a 350-degree standard oven or a 300-degree convection oven for 8 to 10 minutes. Halfway through, I recommend flipping your cookie sheet so that your cookies evenly bake. Once the edges of your cookies are nice and golden brown in color, pull them out and let them cool. Remember, they will continue to cook for a little once they have been removed from the oven, so let them stand for a few minutes before taking them off of the cookie sheet. The great thing is making large batches of these cookies to save for later. Scoop your cookies and place them on a parchment-lined sheet. They can be fairly close to each other. Wrap them up and refrigerate them until the dough has become firm to the touch. You can now place them in an airtight container. Be sure to separate the layers of dough with parchment, wax, or even butcher's paper. You can also vacuum seal your cookies as we have done to save them for a later time. When you are ready to bake some of your saved dough, Place them on parchment-lined cookie sheet and bake as we have instructed. We hope you have enjoyed this video of the best chocolate chip cookies. We miss you all very much and hope you are doing well. Until next time, stay safe and have fun in the kitchen.